KX93.5, Laguna's only FM.
KX93.5, Laguna's only FM. Really happy to welcome a band that I loved in like 2001, and they still are playing today. In fact, as popular as ever, playing a couple hundred shows a year. They have one this week, in fact, Thursday at the Glass House in Pomona. More info at theglasshouse.us. Yeah, it's Sum 41 we're talking about, and we're joined now by one of the founding members and drummer of the band, Stevo. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's cool because we're actually a pretty small startup radio station. It's a community low-power station. We're trying to do radio the old way and bring notice to a lot of artists who don't get radio play often. So it's really cool of you guys and your stature in Sum 41 to join us on our baby station. So we appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So the show this Thursday is at the Glass House. I want to ask you guys tour a ton. Like, I read somewhere you do more than a couple hundred shows a year. So you must obviously enjoy the live lifestyle and the touring lifestyle. Do you get tired of it, or is it still something that's great for you guys as a band?
We love touring, and I mean, it's the only thing we really know how to do. We've been touring in this band. We've only been in this band, so I mean, we've been doing this since we were about 15. Yeah. And we've been touring extensively since we were about 18. I don't know, it's fun. I mean, it can be tiring, but what's funny now is that, the last tour we did was 6 weeks, and by the 6th week, I was like, oh, God, I mean, I gotta go home. This is killing me. Like, I'm so burnt out. And I get home, and now I have a kid, and, like, my home life is, like, fully suburban, like,
yeah.
old man life, mowing the lawn, changing diapers. And then, like, after 3 weeks of that, I'm like, oh, God, get me back out on tour because I'm dying here.
It's funny that you are sort of like that old man life now. Your music is still about, like, the anarchy and the things you talked about when you were 16. I mean, are you going to start writing about, like, family life now that all your lifestyles have changed?
No, I might have the most sort of, like, quote-unquote normal life going. But maybe that's why I party so hard on the road. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we don't necessarily just talk about, we don't, like, have, like, we don't really have any songs, like, about, like, breakups and stuff, although the last record had to do with their marriage breaking up. But, I mean, we've never really had, like high school, like, sweetheart songs and stuff like that.
Right. We just kind of sing about it or talk about anything that comes to mind or anything that's interesting. It could be something that happens in the news or something that just happens in our life. I don't know how many songs we'll have about Stevo changing diapers or, my kid's first ride on his big wheel or whatever. But, who knows? Maybe there's an angle there. I don't know. It would be a real surprise to your fans.
It would be a surprise, absolutely, yeah. Quite the mosh pit.
I think it's cool that I read that you're mixing in at least one cover into your set right now, doing Queen's We Will Rock You, which is awesome. What inspired that?
That actually, I actually saw an old video of them doing the song in a similar way that we do it, where it's up-tempo. And it's, I actually saw it years ago on YouTube, and I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. It's just badass.
Right.
And, Freddie Mercury runs out in this, I think it's there in Tokyo, and he's wearing this just awesome, leather, like leather daddy costume. It's just amazing. It's so badass. And I was like, we got to do that. And then we were talking about it for a while and just kind of forgot about it. And then at the beginning of this tour, I think, we had rehearsals, and I was like, I let's try that. It's really easy to play. So, we threw it in, and the crowd loves it. I mean, it's a really fun one to play live. Yeah. And the way we play it, people don't really know what it is until Derek starts singing the first verse. So there's a little bit of like, hey, what's going on? And then everybody gets in. It's a really fun one to play.
That would be another good surprise to your fans, to come out in a Freddie Mercury get-up, like do the whole tight leather jacket, mustache thing.
Exactly. See, this is great. We should hire you as like an ideas man.
PR man.
Yeah, you can be our PR guy. I like ideas man. But we did a leather thing for a while. But because we were doing the Pain for Pleasure, we did that song Pain for Pleasure. So we did a whole tour where we ended it. We did Pain for Pleasure in the encore. And we switched into Pain for Pleasure costume for the encore. And it gave me like a whole new respect, because we've always loved heavy metal, but it gave me a whole new respect for those guys, because it's really hard to get in and out of sweaty leather clothing. Like, it's exceptionally hard. It's harder than you think. And I was just like, you know, I say they're great musicians and they can sing their balls off and everything, but get even out of those pants, man.
Do you at all coordinate your clothes, like, in general, or maybe your hair colors? Do you like be like, all right, Derek's gonna be red hair today, I'm gonna do this clothes to match it, or anything like that?
Yeah, we just get like a color spectrum out, and we all sort of, you know, we pick the opposite ones so that they don't clash. No, we don't really do that. I actually just wear Sum 41 merch. You know, so I'm just like a merch board, basically, but really it's just because I don't like to do laundry, and I'm cheap. So, because the rest of the guys, Cohen's got maybe 2 or 3 show clothes, and when you play every night, like, that stuff gets pretty rank, whereas I can just sort of chuck mine, you know, I'll just give it to some kid, and he'll be like, that's awesome, it's all diseased and gross.
And then you find your sweaty clothes on eBay later or something?
That's fun, yeah. Buy them all back. No, that's probably not going to help.
We have to mention Fat Lip, and how I'm sure it's still in your set. Do you find that most of your audience is people who grew up loving that song and loving Does This Look Infected? Do you think you're also appealing to a new generation, or is everybody like just there for that? You know what I mean?
No, I think it's funny that we are kind of I mean, when we did Warped Tour in 2010, it was like the first, that was around the time that I realized that a lot of the people who started listening to us when we first came out in 2001, you know, were 10 years older, and now there's a whole new, you know, batch of kids who are 15, 16 now who are getting into us.
Right.
And those songs still resonate. And one of the reasons why I think it's working is because of the internet. I mean, you know, nobody gets played on MTV anymore, but like the Fat Lip video, the Still Waiting video, the Hell Song video, those all still look good. They don't seem dated.
Right.
And they've got millions and millions of hits on YouTube. I mean, all of our videos have tons of hits. Into Deep's got like 10 million views. And so I think it's not just people who were there when we first came out. It's new kids who are discovering us. And so we have our fan base is regenerating, which is great. So when we play, there's, you know, young people who are like, you know, 14, and then there's people who were there like when we were touring Does This Look Infected originally 10 years ago.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I think that's really cool.
That's the goal, right? Because you don't want to just be stuck in time.
Sure.
So, you know, and it's great. I mean, it makes the crowd, you know, they're interesting and fun. Yeah,
then you would be the Who at the Hurricane Sandy concert playing the same songs they have for 40 years. You, in fact, want to grow.
Who?
I was mentioning the Who, how they played.
No, I know.
Oh, I get it.
I know.
That was a good joke.
Thank you. That was actually a dad joke, and I have to get one in there every phoner because I'm a dad, and that's what we do.
That's what you do. You embarrass your kids.
We just make that. When you actually have children, and I'm not even supposed to say this, when you have kids, there's like a secret like envelope shows up, and you unwrap it, and it's just a list of all the dad jokes, and you just get up. So you enter into the secret brotherhood, you know, and that's why every time you're like, where are you going? I'm supposed to say, crazy, want to come? And other things.
I do not, but I look forward to the envelope and then understanding your references.
You'll get the envelope in the book. You'll get the envelope in the book.
All right. Stevo, cool, man. We look forward to seeing you this Thursday. We have some tickets to give away in our station, which we'll get to in a little bit here. Glass House Pomona, and we would love to see you live, so we look forward to it, man.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks, dude. I'll talk to you soon.
KX 93.5, Laguna's only FM. Only FM.